nowadays, I don't believe any fellow, and I certainly don't have any fear of calories, as I noted. It should just be eat satisfying, nutrient-dense foods, especially not avoiding the protein-heavy foods that come with fat, and that's often going to have saturated fat in them, and cholesterol. And cholesterol is the backbone of all sex hormones. If a man wants to make testosterone, he'd better be he better make sure he has enough cholesterol. That is literally the building block that the body will use in order to create testosterone, and not that testosterone is the only thing that matters. It's just an important one, certainly. And it's one that we can point to, and it's one that we all are familiar with. So don't fear fat. And maybe one last point, although this isn't necessarily an evolution in my thinking, but men need strong muscles. It is something that we naturally have been given. And the fact that a man's muscles get so much bigger and stronger during puberty relative to his female counterparts, I think that it's something we should embrace and acknowledge, that between the two sexes and all the differences that we have, one of the differences, men are supposed to be strong physically. And I think that we should really lean into that and make sure that we are engaging in heavy resistance exercise frequently. Not that we can't go running, but an interesting study was just published recently finding that men who marathon run a lot actually die more. But that phenomenon did not occur in women. And so while I think it's important that men engage in some aerobic activity from time to time, I strongly feel it should not replace resistance exercise. A fellow, minute for minute, I think would be better spent pushing his muscles to failure than he would be out running along the roads. And even with regards to how I spend my time exercising, that as a busy husband, father, and professional, I don't have as much free time as I used to. And yet, by being smarter and more efficient, I am able to get in very effective workouts that are spent mostly fatiguing my muscles rather than out running on a road. Part of my evolution, as I noted, was not being afraid of calories. And that's because while energy matters, macronutrients matter more. My research as a scientist has allowed me to gain significant insight into those. And it's ultimately led me to the conclusion that we got it all wrong decades ago when the primary dietary guidelines in the United States in the late 70s, and it quickly was spreading, similar sentiments spreading around the world. When those came to life, they really started causing some of the metabolic problems that we are in.